Danbury Live. We're here today with Chief Alan Baker to give you a short tour of the new police headquarters. We're in before the official ribbon cutting ceremony, so there's still a bit of construction material around, but I think you'll enjoy the tour today. Chief, thank you very much for having us in today.
Well, welcome to the new Danbury Police Department. Something we're very proud of and something that's going to serve the city well for the next 50 years. So.
Well, we are starting this tour out in an area that I hope that I never personally see again on an uninvited basis, and this is where it all starts when you bring a prisoner in. Is that right?
We hope it's not used much at all, but unfortunately we're realists about it. This is our cell block, brand new cell block. Prisoners will come in off to my right here. There's 2 holding pens and a processing area right here, and then we have 3 separate cell blocks off camera here to the left.
So they'll be checked in, booked, I guess is the proper term?
Booked would be the term, yes.
They'll fingerprinted and put in one of the holding pens first.
That is correct.
One men's, one women's, or it's, you know?
Well, the holding pens, I mean, we keep sexes separated, but I mean, it doesn't matter whether male or female. It's a cell block where we keep them separate.
Okay, very good. And from here, where does the bad guy?
Once processed here, they'll go to a cell block. We have a male cell block, a female cell block, and a juvenile cell block. And they're over here.
Well, let's take a tour. Blocks. How many cell blocks total do you have here in the building?
We have 3 cell blocks. We have a male cell block, a female cell block, and a juvenile cell block. And we're in the male cell block right now, 14 cells.
Is it plumbed differently in the female cell block, or is it?
No, they're all pretty much identical. The state law requires separation by sight and sound, and so that's why we have 3 separate cell blocks. These are state-of-the-art. There's no bars. There's no real surface for anybody to hang themselves. Each cell has its own individual surveillance camera, so we think it'll be a very safe cell block.
That's terrific. Now, how many total cells in each block?
There's a total of 25 cells down here in the cell block, in 3 separate cell blocks, 25 in the jail.
Okay. And how many in the men's area here?
There are 14 here.
14. So they've got a little over half.
That is correct.
I assume it's constructed based on your experience of male, female, and juvenile?
It is, yes. Try to be proportional to what we expect.
Okay. And we could take a look at one of the cells here. Kind of tell us what we've got here. It looks like a pretty hard bed there.
It is a hard bed. There's nothing comfortable about it, but it's completely enclosed, so it's going to be difficult to hide things. It'll be difficult to hang yourself. It's difficult to plug the toilet, difficult to throw things at people walking down the hall here. It's, we think, a very safe cell.
Okay, and these are, you know, glass-laden doors, so you can, of course, observe anything that's going on. What is it, like bulletproof glass or what?
They tell me you can hit that, I don't know if it's glass or plastic, but you can hit it all day and you'll do nothing but break your hand. You won't break the glass.
Well, that's comforting to know. I'm going to step into the cell here, and do I even dare pull this cell door closed?
I wouldn't pull the door because I don't have a key.
Well, that says that there are people that would like me to just pull that over and stay in here, but I'll not.
You know, we have bars, and so, you know, they throw stuff at you. They throw your food. They throw their feces. The bars were dangerous because people could hang themselves from it. So this eliminates a lot of the safety hazards in the present building.
So there's virtually no way, even the sprinkler systems have no way to, I can see up there, tie anything onto.
That's correct. There's no surfaces really to tie anything on it. Another feature of the cell block, we're going to have phones installed in the cells so that we don't have to take inmates out of the cell to make a phone call. They can make a collect call right from their cell. And that's a safety feature for our officers because that's something that we don't have to take them out of the cell phone.
Now that wouldn't be a typical phone that we would see in our living rooms or something like that, wouldn't it?
No, it'll be a panel on a wall, and you have to make a collect call. And actually, the city of Danbury has rebated a certain amount of money for those calls from the company that installed the phones.
Oh, very good. All right. Well, the female cells, cell number 15. You can see with a little better light here that is basically the same facility. And Chief was explaining that the telephone system will be attached to the wall here very securely. No headset or anything like that, just a speaker and a keypad. so that whenever they have to, I guess, call the bail bondsman, their lawyer, or whatever, they will be able to do that directly from cell, and there's no risk to the police personnel in moving the prisoners from in and out of the cell for those types of things. I did kind of look at the bed here, and it's a steel bed. Of course, if you're in jail, it's not for a good reason, so I guess we aren't too concerned with creature comforts. But it is a very austere, but still functional cell. Chief Baker, on the cell accoutrements, do they actually sleep on the steel bed, or do they get an opportunity to have something a little softer on top of those?
That's the accommodations here.
That's the
It's a steel bed.
Okay. So they don't have anything that could set a fire or
Plug the toilet or plug the sink. It's designed to be safe.
Yeah, very good. Okay, thank you. We're going to, what's the next area you'd like to show us in the cell here? Or
In the police station, next we'll go to the property processing area.
Yes?
This is the juvenile side of the cell block, and there's 3 cells in here.
Quite a bit fewer. Do you process a lot of juveniles on an ordinary day?
Not ordinarily, and we only keep them here for, I believe it's 6 hours, otherwise they would have to go to a state correctional facility.
Okay, so a lot of times maybe they're released into the custody of their parents, or...
Actually, that happens the majority of the times, released a parent, but if for some reason a violent crime or they need to be held, we can only hold them for 6 hours and they're moved to Bridgeport.
I see. Well, it's surely not a pleasant experience for a kid, whether here 30 minutes or 6 hours, I'm sure.
Not a pleasant experience for anybody.
Very good. Well, let's move on to the next area, down here in the holding area, in the cell area. And this was what area?
This is an interview room for prisoners. We don't normally allow visitors in the cell block, but we do have an obligation to allow attorneys to come in to meet with their clients. And so they don't have to come into the cell block. The inmate will sit on this side, the attorney will sit in an office outside the cell block, and they'll be able to communicate privately here.
And there's no way to pass anything back and forth between the two sides?
That is correct. It's
Okay.
sealed.
Very good. So, not denying them any of their rights to counsel?
Absolutely not, and can be done safely and without worries about contraband entering the cell block.
Okay. And could anyone else come visit a prisoner? I know in the old police station there was pretty much a no visiting policy.
And that will continue in the new police station. We don't accommodate visitors. We just don't have the personnel to do that.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. We'll move along. Where most folks would come and go in the police department. To the rear is the parking area. This is public parking areas in back, is that correct?
That's correct. That's the public parking that you'll access off Main Street at the north end of our building. There's no parking on Main Street, so there's about 60 parking spaces on the parking deck. You just pull to the north end of our building and follow the signs around to the back parking lot.
Okay, so we'll come in from the parking lot, and I guess the first thing they see here is the main desk.
Main desk, that's correct, and that's first point of contact here at the Danbury Police Department, and they'll be able to help you with, for whatever reason you're coming. If it's just for records, they'll just refer you right over here to the Record Bureau. If you need to make a complaint, is that me? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you stop? Can you stop? I don't know what this.
We'll start in the lobby of the police building. Chief, why don't you kind of explain where things are and where people will be coming in? This is the area that if you come to do business with the police department on a friendly basis,
This is your point of contact, and right behind you is Main Street. There's no parking on Main Street, so we've got a large parking lot to the rear of the building. You access that parking lot north end of our building, a little ramp that leads around, and there's a public parking location with about 60 parking spaces. And that way you won't have to worry about parking on Main Street. You won't have to worry about parking meters, and that's where you enter the building, actually, off to my left, if you park in the parking lot.
Okay, maybe we can see that and see where the people would come in here. So the parking lot here, it's the doors will be accessible 24/7, or will they be regular business hours, or what?
No, this part of the building we open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is for the public to come in here and make contact with the police department. Front desk here will be staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They'll be your point of contact. They'll be able to help you with anything that you need here at the Danbury Police Department, direct you in the right location. Over here is our record bureau. They also have a window for the public to come in. They'll be open during business hours, Monday through Friday, during business hours. Get police reports, accident reports, those types of things.
So records is not on the current 4-day work week for like town hall employees and such like that?
Well, actually, they are on a 4-day work week, so we'll have to see how we can schedule that when we move into the new building.
Okay, very good. And from here, they have access to elevator services, and where would that take them?
The elevator will either take you downstairs to the basement, or it'll take you upstairs to the Detective Bureau and the administrative offices, although you don't have access to that elevator unless it's given to you by the front desk person. This is the only public area of the police department where the public will have access. All other parts of the building are non-public, and you'd have to be allowed in.
So I presume as well, it's just like similar to the holding areas, or for safety reasons, the main desk reception area is, if you will, access proof. It's they don't have to worry about somebody trying to come in and break their the cousin out of jail.
No, there's been a number of security enhancements actually built around the main desk here that make it very safe.
Okay, very good. So you would come in, and like his attorneys would come here to go down and visit their clients, and as well as perhaps a person who's a victim of crime would come in to report or possibly be interviewed in the Detective Bureau upstairs.
That's correct. But again, the access would have to be granted into the secure part of the building, and we're going to have a system of visitor passes, and we're going to take security much more seriously in this building than we did in the other building.
Well, I thought the other building was pretty secure, but this definitely has a lot of enhancements to it.
Right. And just off to your right is the training classroom and community room.
Maybe we could swing around and just
Sure.
take a peek in the door there.
Certainly. Here. You want to come right in, John?
What are you saying?
This is the community room, and it'll be used for law enforcement training. We'll use it for police explorers, and we'll use it for public meetings related to law enforcement. If we want to have a neighborhood meeting, or if we have a general meeting related to law enforcement. I mean, it's just got to be a public meeting room. It's got to have some relationship to law enforcement, but this is for the community to use also.
If a community action group or neighborhood association wanted to, say, have a series of questions and answers about, let's say, one of the safe neighborhood programs or the units work in the neighborhood, is this a place they could use and to interact with the police department?
Absolutely. That's the reason this room was designed. We envision it like our police explorers are going to use this room. We'll sponsor training classes where we invite law enforcement from throughout the area. We're going to have our award ceremony in here. We'll have a lot of different police-related ceremonies and meetings right in this room.
Okay, so in the past you mentioned the award ceremonies that you've gone to the Powell building and different places for that, so you'll be able to do that now in good weather.
Well, we're hoping this year it's on May 22nd. We hope to be out on the plaza, but if it's not, we have a very decent-sized meeting room to hold it inside if it's raining out.
Okay, very good. Well, what would be the next area we should probably go visit here?
We'll show you where we're going to do roll call and where the patrol division is going to work.
Okay, secure area of the police department, and this is the records room, is that correct?
That is correct. And behind me is the window, the public access records off of our lobby. To my right is an interview room where you can either interview somebody or they can review reports. That way they don't have to enter the secure part of the building, but can still conduct business with the Record Bureau here.
And access to that is still controlled by the front desk?
That is correct. That is
Okay.
correct.
And this area out here, this would be for the records clerks and that work in a fairly small cubbyhole in the current police department,
It's
don't they?
very much larger than their current situation. The high ceilings, the windows make it a very bright, very pleasant work area. They've got private workspaces, and then we've got high-density shelving that is on a track over here that would be able to store about 7 or 8 years worth of records.
Maybe we could pan over and take a look at this. If anyone who's been in the police department to retrieve a record or file for a permit or something is familiar with the little small window that you have to peek through and a pretty cramped workspace that they have back there. So from a record storage standpoint, this must be like heaven for the records department.
Well, it is going to give us a lot more storage of the space for current records. Our ultimate goal is to be able to go paperless someday. Technology exists to do that. It's just that it's expensive. It'll take some time for us to adapt. But eventually we hope that that'll be obsolete and that everything is done electronically and only printed if we need to use it. But
Well, I did notice that you're moving in that direction. I was in the police department recently to get some prints for an application, and no more ink. It was all done electronically, and the fingerprints were scanned.
that's one of the advances in technology that is making our jobs a lot easier.
Okay, very good. Well, we'll move on to on inside the headquarters area. This is where generally the police personnel will be doing their work while they're on duty here in the station. Is that correct?
That's correct. This will be where most patrol officers, patrol personnel interact. This is more or less the hub of the first floor here. We have off to my right mailboxes for every employee. In this area we'll have copy machines, network printers, report baskets, schedules, those types of things. And so this will be kind of where everybody interacts, routine business within the police department. Off to my left here, we have a report writing room for our patrol officers. Right over here to my left, we have a break room for all employees on the first floor. And then there's restrooms here. And then we have a space for our traffic division, and we have space for our community service division. Right now, community service division is in that little house across the street from main headquarters at Boughton and Main Street.
Okay. And so we have the patrol division and the tech division. They have their own separate areas.
That's correct. The patrol division is primarily here on the first floor, and we'll go into where they hold roll call and where their supervisors have their offices, and the locker room is right over here. So.
Okay. And what about the detective division? Is that in a different area of the building?
Detective division is on the second floor.
We'll see that a little later then.
We'll see that next.
Okay, very good. Thank you for here. And what is this room used for, Chief Baker?
This is where we'll hold roll call 3 times a day before the start of each patrol shift. They'll receive their assignments, they'll receive information about current happenings here in Danbury, crime bulletins, those types of things. And this building is well designed. Functions are all kind of grouped together, adjacent to each other. Right off to my right, in the corner there, is a door to the locker room. So an officer will come to work, go right to the locker room, and then can exit the locker room right into roll call. Behind me, or behind the camera actually, is an armory where we'll keep the patrol rifles, and we'll keep different pieces of equipment they can check out right after they're done with roll call. And then right out the door here and down the stairs to the squad car.
Okay, and this room will accommodate how many people for a section?
It'll accommodate about 25. And normally our roll calls aren't that big, so we could also use this as a classroom, or we could use it as a meeting room. But
Starts each patrol, and from here the officers go out and, if you will, do their thing, serve and protect.
that is correct. And off to the right will be the patrol lieutenants. They'll have their offices there. The shift commander will have his office there. Like I said, the building is well thought out in terms of trying to locate functions functions that should be adjacent to each other. They did a very good job in doing that.
Well, just as kind of an interlude here, you say the building is well thought out. This was designed by professional engineers or architects, I assume. Did the police department have a lot of input into the layout of the facilities?
This has been a project that's been ongoing at the police department for probably over 5 years, and we've been meeting regularly the last 4 years, and a number of different people in the police department had input as to how this building was constructed. But we did employ a professional architect who's built a lot of police stations throughout New England, had a very good reputation for law enforcement facilities, and so it was a pleasure to work with somebody that knew the requirements of the law, knew the requirements of the building codes specific to a law enforcement building.
Very good. Now, is that correct?
That's correct. We're on the second floor of the police station. We're at the north end, and actually, this room was constructed separate from the main building to dampen the noise that's transmitted into the main building. There's an actual gap in the construction, but we have a state-of-the-art firearms facility here. We have 6 bays to shoot from, 25 yards. We can shoot our handguns. We can shoot our long guns. It'll be very useful for the police department. We can use it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've done some sound testing already, and it doesn't transmit into the building, or does it transmit to the neighbors. So this will be a good, friendly location for officers to practice their firearm skills.
This is certainly a lot of an upgrade from what they were using in the basement of the existing building, isn't it?
The state of the art here, including ventilation systems and safety systems. So yes, this is quite an upgrade.
Well, the ventilation is very important, considering lead contamination and such that's often involved in feuding.
And this meets all those safety standards.
Okay, and I'm just going to say it's almost like looking in the movies here, that you almost see Mel Gibson up here doing his smiley shot. But there is a downrange target there, and I can see that we have, in fact, done some target practice in here. And like I say, this is a completely safe and secure area. There's absolutely no way that anyone on the outside could possibly be injured as a result of working in here.
That is correct. Very safe backstop, very safe construction, and there's no worries to the general public from this particular room of the police department.
Now, policemen who carry firearms have to qualify ever so often. Is that correct?
That is correct. There's state requirements that they qualify.
So how often would they qualify with their firearms?
Well, they're required to shoot by state requirement twice a year, but we try and do that more frequently.
And they could do their qualifications right here.
That is correct.
Well, very good. And we'll move on from the firing range. Could you tell us a little bit about it, Chief?
Sure. This is about 6 or 8 inches of shredded tires, rubber, that forms the backstop, and then underneath that is a steel plate that would stop the bullet. And we'll have to periodically clean out this rubber, get the lead out of the rubber, and we have a large vacuum cleaner that'll do that. So this range will require some periodic maintenance.
I see. That's a long ways advanced from the old sandbag days.
Much more advanced.
And certainly much more safe.
Yes.
Very good. The communications, if you will, area for the police department. Can you tell us a little bit about this room?
Sure. This is a state-of-the-art dispatch center, and it's built for the future. It's built hopefully to someday bring in the police, fire, and ambulance all in one room. We're actually standing on the police side of the communication center. Police dispatch position off to my left, another police dispatch position off to my left. There'll be call taker positions here. So we're ready to go when the building opens on May 4th, and hopefully we'll have the funding and the personnel to bring police, fire, and ambulance all into this room eventually.
It is tight budget year.
It is a tight budget year, yes.
And the other side of the room is almost a mirror image of this side. That would, you mentioned perhaps a unified police, fire, ambulances. You're thinking about perhaps putting 911 in here?
Absolutely. Right now the 911 calls are answered at the fire department, and when we bring everybody together, they'll be answered in this room.
Okay. So whenever somebody picks up the phone and says, somebody's breaking into my house, this is the place it starts.
Well, if you use 911, right now it goes to the fire department. They transfer it to us. Eventually we'd like it to come right into this room. It is a tight budget year. We've applied for a couple different grants. Hopefully we can get some funding that way to start that process. But when we open up on May 4th, it'll just be police officers and the police department in this room.
Okay, so all of the dispatching of personnel will come from here.
That is correct.
Okay, very good.
Surveillance systems. They'll be able to watch cable TV. Their CADs,
Probably don't want to say cable TV.
No.
Can we get a little bit about what all the screens are used for?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
If not, dispatch facility here, considerably different than what you had in the past with the big radios and such on the desks. This is an 8-screen arrangement. What is all this used for?
Well, you're right. Compared to the old building with the big consoles for the radio, right now the entire radio system is here on a screen, and it's all touch or mouse driven. So you have a little microphone, you have a little speaker, and you have a computer screen. That's your entire radio system. Also, like I said, there's a total of 8 monitors up here. You'll be able to monitor cable news here for world happenings. Our dispatch radio screen. We have monitors for the closed circuit TVs around the police department. We have CAD screens. We have NCIC, which is computer inquiries. And so all these screens will be used by the dispatcher, a total of 8 screens.
So, I mean, you could tie into a number of different systems and other emergency response departments from here.
That is correct.
Very good. There's been, a lot about our assistance agreements with some of the federal agencies. Will we be able to perhaps tie into their databases and such from here, or is that done elsewhere?
That's done elsewhere.
Okay, very good. Quite state of the art.
Yep.
new chief's office there, not the new chief, but the new office for the chief of police. I see you've got your chair in place, tags are still on. Is it a comfortable chair?
I don't know, I haven't even tried it yet, so
Well, let's give
it a try.
Let's find out how you look in the new facility. Are we comfortable?
feels very nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't expect you'll have a lot of time in the chair, though.
I don't think so. We'll be very busy.
You're kind of a hands-on chief, so
Trying to shake this building down and get things rolling. We'll be very busy.
very good, very good. Well, let's move on. The good detectives we have on the force are going to be working. Is that correct?
That's correct. And our detective bureau is divided up 3 different ways. We have the general investigations, we have a youth bureau, and we have special investigations. And we're standing in general investigations. They're the detectives that do the homicides, they do the robberies, they do the rapes, they do the burglaries, the thefts. That's investigated from this office.
That's the kind of thing that people are most usually involved with as victims, I would guess.
Yes, they're very busy up here.
Okay. And just outside the door, I noticed there was a waiting area, so there's a place for to stage people who are in to be interviewed, file complaints.
We're correct, and we have 3 different interview rooms up here available for general investigations to use, including a soft interview room for sensitive interviews or sensitive crimes. So that was one of the weaknesses in the old building, is that there were no interview rooms, and we've got interview rooms all over this building now. So
So if someone is giving a detective some information about a crime, they can feel pretty confident now that it's going to be kept confidential. There's not prying ears. So.
Right, it'll be done in privacy. It'll, I think, make people feel better that the information you're given will remain confidential.
Okay. I noticed out the window is something I wouldn't have expected to see in this part of town.
Well, it seems to be a cottage industry that we spawned by building at this location. It's a bail bonds shop, and there's going to be 2 of them across the street from the police department.
Well, they certainly are entrepreneurs. They're setting up shop quite close to the action.
And I'm not sure why they all of a sudden had to set up shop, because they never set up shop in front of 120, but now at 375, there's going to be 2 of them.
Well, competition is good, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Coming attractions, the bail bondsmen that are setting up shop across from the station. I guess it's sort of economic stimulus from the police department standpoint. You're creating jobs.
Looks like we're creating jobs and spawning redevelopment on the north end of downtown here.
Well, there's a lot of ancillary benefits here, and so we've got all kinds of new businesses setting up here.
Well, you know, in perfect honesty, I think that this beautiful building will help spawn redevelopment in this area. I think that people will want to make their properties as nice as the police station, and so I think there will be some positive benefit to the housing stock and to the buildings on Main Street here.
Yeah, and of course it's a very pleasant view across the street as well. You got St. Joseph Parish Center, which is always a nice looking building, so they should feel very safe. About the final area we're in for the tour. What is this area? I mean, doesn't have tables and chairs and desks and computers in it.
This is our crime scene unit, and we're actually in their lab where they process evidence. And this unit is now in the old fire station on Boughton Street across from the police department. It's an old firehouse, and they've made do in that building for probably 15 or 20 years. It's very cramped. There's not a lot of storage. It's not set up to be a lab. And small spaces for processing large pieces of evidence like a vehicle. It remedies all those difficulties here. They have a very large lab. Behind the camera is a storage room for their evidence, and they have a wonderful garage to work on vehicles out of the weather. And they'll use the garage to store their vehicles in here, and ready to go to a crime scene. They have some temperature-sensitive materials that they won't have to worry about, because their vehicles will be inside here, and when they have to process a vehicle, they can bring it right in and do it without having to worry about the weather.
That'll probably improve the quality of the work and the evidence processing as well, having it in out of the weather.
Well, I'm sure it will. I'm very much impressed with what they do in their limited cramped spaces now. I mean, we have excellent crime scene personnel. They do a very good job with some archaic and rather difficult facilities to work in, so they'll really do some good work once they get in here.
So this is Danbury's CSI.
This is Danbury CSI.
Very good. Well, it's a well-deserved upgrade for them.
It's going to be a beautiful facility, and it'll serve the community well.
Very good. Thank you very much for taking the time out to give us and the public a look-see at the new police headquarters. I know everybody's been watching this construction, and I expect that you and your entire complement of officers are anxious to get in here.
Well, first of all, you're welcome anytime. Department is very excited about coming into this building. It's going to bring us into the 21st century, and we want to thank the people of Danbury for their continuing support. I think the Danbury Police Department has always enjoyed good public support, and it has a good reputation in the community, and we thank you for that. We thank you for the financial support, and thank you for providing us with the tools we need to provide the best possible services to the people of Danbury.
Well, that's, folks, is it for Danbury Live and the tour of the police department. I hope you enjoyed this tour, and again, thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you.